Situation now, how's
Yeah.
right tackle and the rotation setting up now?
Good. Justin Senior's had a great camp. Justin Malone is another one that's worked a lot at right tackle throughout the summer. Just to me, going in with that spot being open initially was to get everyone, to me, from Rufus to Justin Senior to Justin Malone to Blaine's been at left, but to get all those guys ready to be the first tackle, right tackle, second, third, fourth, and develop them all that way.
Even though it was unintentional, Coach Millen said the spring move with Rufus Warren and now Justin picking up the way he did, Justin Senior, now it's going to pay off at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. It's like anything, it's an opportunity for anybody to get a shot. And for Rufus was playing 5 to 6 snaps a game to playing 70, 65, 70 snaps a game. And he's been in the program for a long time, so he knows what is expected of him. And I think he's done a great job. He's had a really good camp, and now he's got to keep finalizing all the little details to being an offensive lineman.
Obviously, you talk about the development of your guys, where you want them at year 1, year 2, year 3. It seems like Justin and Cole Carter have really started coming to their own and going into their third year.
Justin and Senior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think they've, like anything, it's part of, from the high school to the, where the true freshmen are now, is to learning just, everything we talk about is what to do, how to do it, and why you're doing it. I think the first thing is learning what, and I think it gives you the progression of what they do. Some of them pick it up faster. You look at Dylan and Blaine, who played earlier, is they learned the what and the how quicker, and they started learning the why on the run. They had to get thrown into the fire a little earlier, so they got to learn faster, and that helps them later on. But to me, there's still a progression of kids learning, put them on the field when they're ready to go, and this level expected to play in that first 5. I said to them all the time, it's just the front row of my meeting room is the first 5. That's your fight. Quentin Salisbury came back the other day, and he sat there and said, your goal in sitting in this room is to get in that front row. And to me, you better know what to do, how to do it, why to do it.
I asked you this a few weeks ago, but where did you saying Junko Johnson come from the last few weeks? Where is he?
He's still learning. Again, the one thing is that the minimum amount of reps he had in spring, I should say, set him back. It just, to me, he missed those 15 days of practice, which would have really helped him. So to me, he's progressing along. Just talking to him now, he's just progressing along, but it's from junior college. It's not much different than high school. It's still learning. He's got the what. He's learning the how every day, and the why is still going to be a bit away. But to me, like I just told him, I said, every one of my kids, whether you're in that first 2 deep, is every day you're evaluated. Every day you're on scout team, you're evaluated. That if something happens again, like happened to Damien, guess what? Everyone's one play away from being in the game. So to me, it's still a development of every day. Is he ready to play right now? No. Will he be next week? Possibly 2 weeks from now. I might need like Jamal Claiborne last year. It became week 6, week 7 that I needed him. And to me, its development for him was fast in that 6 weeks. But that's where everyone's got to push that envelope to be that, get in the line, get in too deep.
Even before the Robinson injury, it seemed like Malone was getting some time to tackle. What kind of spurred that move from the guard to seeing him as a tackle?
Well, it was the same thing. You lose the left guard and the right tackle last year. Is no one really had depth at getting the starts. Whether it was Justin Senior had 1 start versus Bowling Green, Justin Malone had the 1 start at guard. Damien hadn't had really a start. Justin Senior had the 1 start. I'm trying to think who else there is. Cole had a start. So there was. Rufus just moved over to spring, so there was no one to sit there and say, hey, there's the guy in line that had 4 or 5 starts move. Justin was a guy that's developed. He's an intelligent kid. He's learned all those things. That, to me, he's the first one because he's got the ability to be out there. The size to be out there was, again, just trying to set myself up for here's 4 or 5 guys that can possibly take that position to get the best 5 on the field.
How much does having Claiborne and Beckwith give you that flexibility with Justin?
Great. I mean, that's the one luxury you have is that, even Devin Desper's had, I think, a great camp. So with the depth built in there was now you have the luxury to move other guys around and say, hey, now let's get depth everywhere we need it. To me, walking with really Justin Malone, Ben, Devin, and whoever at guards, you get the ability to have guys at tackles, and they had a lot of reps too between Justin Cole, Blaine, Rufus, and now Justin Malone getting reps. You're building depth throughout the line, find the best 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 from that point on.
Do you like what you're saying on Jake Thomas making a move, playing some snaps at guard?
Yeah,
like
he's had a good camp, and it's still the progression of going along, and it's still only the 2nd year, so I don't. Again, to me, not to hold him to it. I mean, they are accountable and responsible for it, but he's got to keep working and keep paying attention to all the little things that are involved.
How do you think Justin Malone's responded after missing all of last year and most of the spring?
Great. Great. I mean, the one thing is he had a great summer in the weight room, had a great summer conditioning, and I think the best thing is he came into camp with a great attitude. He had a great camp. To me, you saw the transition from last camp where he was learning to get into it to he knew he was expected to know it. There's no more learning curve for him. You're expected to be that guy, and other guys are fighting at your job, so he had a great camp that way.
How does, I guess, with the loss of Robinson, how does working the tight ends kind of work in that aspect of, maybe using some extra, chip here, chip there, to help out if a guy's lagging or not? Does that kind of come into your play? You're just going off if, that's going to come in there and start, and we're not worried about dropping.
No, I mean, if I can play 10 guys, I'll play 10 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, again, to me, if as many as can play are going to play. But again, to play, you got to be acceptable in that way. It's not because someone told me long ago you got to play because your uncle calls me and says, "Hey, why isn't he playing? Come watch film." And a lot of that goes on. It's just, to me, well, he should be playing because he was this recruit, that recruit, or he's a sophomore, he's a junior. And it's, are you in the best five, and do you know what to do, how to do it, why to do it? And to me, do you know exactly what to do when we test on Fridays before games, when we're watching film, and I ask a question, is it spit out? If it's but again, to me, I put a lot on my guys. They're expected, when I sit there and say, man, I ask them the question, who do you trust playing in this game? They're going to list that. And I take a lot of value in that because, again, 4th and 1, anywhere we go, and that guy comes running off the sideline. Okay, and 4 other guys are going, oh boy. I don't want that. Because I want 5 guys to go, hey, we're ready to go. 1 guy went down, the next guy's ready to go.
Is there always 5 guys? In the sense of, or is there sometimes?
I'm always working. It's always 5, 6, 7. If I
Yeah.
have 4, I'm in trouble. I need 5. That's the rules of football. I guess I need 5. But to me, it's always looking for 6, 7, 8. And now again, Justin Malone, if he's not in the best 5, the one thing is he's the 6th at guard, he's the 6th at tackle. How that works, you say, I'm going to play the 6th best guy. If the guy's got to move, that's great. I'm not going to put, because on the depth chart, he's the 2nd right tackle. I don't really care if the 6th best guy is going to play in that position.